I am back with another video. If you are wondering if you should invest in Verina or if she is going to be powercrept, I will do my best to answer your questions. The Verina showcase is from Narushio. If you want to check out the other characters, the link is down below. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it. First, the question is not if, but when. It does not matter how unique or broken the design of a character is. Sooner or later, it is going to be replaced, and this is solely to the discretion of the character designers. The most important thing is if Verina is going to be powercrept soon, or if she is going to be meta long enough for you to recover your quote-unquote investment. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is ByZ. ByZ and Verina's kit are insanely similar. So similar in fact that I will not bother even making a guide for ByZ, as you could take the advice from Verina and apply it for ByZ and it will work all the same. Just to show you how similar they are, I'm just gonna put their skills side by side for comparison. First of all, the Resonance Liberation, healing your team, dealing some damage and also having off-field damage application. Then there are their Forte circuits, which in both cases heal the team and also generate concerto energy in order to shorten the rotation. Their passives is where they are differentiating each other a little. Verina passive, whenever she uses the skill or the outro or the liberation, the characters in your team will have their attack increased by 20% for 20 seconds. In Paizi's case, you leave behind the Euphoniad lasting 15 seconds and whoever picks it will increase the attack by 15% for 20 seconds. It is not just a 5% attack difference, but the way this applies. Verina's buff is unconditional. As soon as you switch her off field, you don't need to do anything and you will enjoy that 20% attack buff for 20 seconds. In ByZ's case, your character needs to pick it in order to apply. This by itself will cause some seconds of DPS loss, as the enemy might move, you'll need to get out of your way in order to pick it up. The second passive in ByZ's case is just an extra healing, while in Verina's case is a resurrection. The resurrection I expect to be very good early game, but as you get closer and closer to late game, I'll expect the skill to lose its value. The reason for that is that you are not gonna take her passive in consideration when you're gonna build your team, when you're gonna face a boss. You'll always use a team that you know is gonna defeat that without issues. Their outro skills are also extremely similar. Verina gives a 15% total damage buff for 30 seconds. Meanwhile, ByZ creates a healing aura, which heals every 3 seconds for 30 seconds, and whenever a character is healed, its damage increases by 15 seconds. This can be translated as a 15% damage increase for 30 seconds, just like Verina. Of course, there is a small issue with it, and that is this healing is triggered every 3 seconds. Let's say your sub DPS takes the field after ByZ. For 3 seconds, it will not receive this buff as it did not receive the healing yet. This will cause some DPS losses, just like in the previous case. Overall, it's pretty obvious that ByZ it is made to be a lesser version of Verina, but the question is not if a ByZ is better than one Verina, but if 7 ByZs are better than one Verina, as characters will get new skills or will improve their kits with more dupes you get, and ByZ, being a 4-star, has an advantage over Verina. Right now we don't know exactly what improvements these dupes will bring, but if you are to take the previous gachas into account, a max duped 4-star, usually it will perform at the same level as their 5-star counterpart without any dupes. Does that mean that you should focus ByZ instead of Verina? Well, no. And there are multiple reasons for that. While getting a max duped ByZ is much easier than in Verina's case, and as you progress you'll pick these dupes along the way. Nonetheless, it is a process that takes a lot of time. I estimate getting ByZ to full dupes, it will take you around half a year, if not more, as F2P, and that is if she happens to be on a rate up, the banner of a character that you want. By that time, you might snatch 1 or 2 copies of Verina itself, or at the same time they may both just be powercrept. And the second reason is that you are gonna need more than one team. Vice and Verina are the only two characters with the auto skill providing a full team buff regardless of weapons or element. Hence you'll need both of them no matter what you plan to do. So it truly does not matter if Vice is better than Verina or not. At the start of the game you'll need to build both. As for the long term, as I said, we don't know for sure when they plan to release a character to compete with those two, but regardless, their position as full-on supports and healers will be much harder to power creep than in the case of DPS or sub-DPS. So, in conclusion, Verina is a very safe bet when it comes to investing in a character, as I'm expecting her to last at least 6 months till even the concept of power creep reaches her.